Welcome to Elder Scrolls Oblivion, a handcrafted, expansive RPG experience spanning hundreds of hours of questing and adventuring in the glorious world of Tamriel. Every enemy and item perfectly balanced for the most fair and enjoyable gameplay experience. And today, we're going to beat it with a hoe. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Spiffing Brit, your local Bethesda balance tester. You might think, Spiff, why on earth are you attempting this stupid and absurdly difficult task? The reasoning is simple. Many moons ago, a user called Swag Poolord left a comment asking if I could beat Oblivion using his mum. Much to my surprise, Bethesda had already personally added Swag Poolord's mum into the game. With the official Mayrune's Razor plugin, we now have access to the Dirty Hoe, a seemingly terrible weapon considering that we're expected to slay demons. That said, I like a challenge, so let's see if we can beat Oblivion with a hoe, aka Swag Poolord's mum. So make sure you're sat back, relaxed, you have a cup of Yorkshire tea, and you've saluted the Union Jack that you're flying above your PC. So it's time, majestic sausages, let us begin a brand new game of Oblivion. So we need a hero for our adventuring, and considering that there's mums involved, we need a family-friendly character. Consequently, we're going to be making the hit 2001 character Shrek. Naturally, of course, we have to create a perfect character, and, well, the Oblivion character creator is beautiful. Oh god, everything I touch turns into a nightmare monster. This game is a beautiful engine for creating nightmares that will keep you up at night. I'm just kind of messing with sliders, and I have no idea what's going to happen. I might be creating something wonderful, but you kind of have no idea until you turn it sideways. Oh gosh, I completely forget you can also just flashbang your characters. Oh, good. I have no idea why a video game would say, yes, I would like a character that can burn brighter than the sun. But you know, you can do that if you want. Right, and here we have it. We have our lovely character Shrek. Look, I gave it my best shot, and I think he's beautiful. I love him. He's got such a cute little button nose. Okay, well, it's a button that's been lodged into his nose, but you know, he's still lovable. And I mean, if this guy can pull Princess Fiona, then let's be real. Maybe all of us have a chance at love in life. Anyway, into the game. Now you might be thinking, Spiff, why are you playing an orc? Well, the reasoning is very simple. Orcs are pretty good at melee combat, and melee combat is exactly what we're going to be limited to. We can't cast any of these fancy spell shenanigans, so consequently we've got to enjoy the fight life that is hoe combat. Oh, hello there. Oh, this man says I'm an ugly one. Oh, and he says we're the most repulsive race in all of Tamriel. Right, that's it. We're gonna go murder this man. We're gonna murder that man. Oh dear. Oh. Oh my goodness, look at little physics going, having fun. Right, here we go. Look, it's none other than the wonderful Emperor. He's seen me. Oh, you've watched Shrek? Let me see your face. Yes, that's right, Oreo Septin. You dream about Shrek? My friend, what an eye for talent this man has. God, give me strength. Or honestly, it's nice for Shrek to meet a fan in the wild. He's very excited, but hey, what's going on? Oh, he's about to die. What a shame. Right, and naturally, we're just going to follow the Emperor on his glorious escape attempt, and by that, I mean we're just going to jump around a bunch so that we can level up. Look, my acrobatics has already increased. I can jump quite high. Oh, and here come the assassins that are fighting the Emperor. Of course, we could fight them, but honestly, there's no point. One of the issues with, you know, being restricted to only using a hoe is that I can't exactly punch people because that's using my fists. Consequently, I must flee from all combat until I find the true weapon of the hoe. Right, so wabam, through here we go, where rats are trying to fight us. Now we must, of course, flee around the rats. There we go, bypass those rats. What do we got in here? We got no lockpicks. Beans. Well, at least we have some armor here. We can just auto-attempt this lock, get some money from it, and immediately leg it. So wabam, quickly, we just leg it out of the door. We don't want to fight anything. We're not cut out for fighting. Instead, we're just going to sneak past this little rat. My sneak has increased. Oh dear, the rat spotted me. Right, run. Leg it, my friend. There's more rats. There's even zombies. Okay, run past those. Good job, Shrek. You're a lover, not a fighter, trust me. Although I suppose the true canonical lover of the Shrek universe is Donkey, considering the dude pulled a dragon. Jeez, these rats are fast. Anyway, it matters little because we've almost escaped. Ale, there we go. That'll get us moving. Right, I've equipped Shrek with some armor, so hopefully we should be in a slightly healthier position to bypass all of this combat. Now, we are meant to, of course, fight this goblin, but that would be a very silly idea. So instead, we are going to do our best job and just run past. Oh, what's grabbing a potion? Oh dear, that's a trap. Right, dodge the trap, run past it, lovely jubbly. And in classic Shrek hijinks fashion, we'll even kill some people with some falling logs. There we go. Potions of healing as well. Fantastic. We'll nab those. And then, yes, we need to go quickly around all of these lovely goblins and make our escape. Right, next up, we need to pick the star sign of Shrek. Shrek. There's quite a few options. I mean, we could of course go for the lover, but I think we need something more powerful. So we will go for the star sign of the warrior, just to simply make us far better at combat. Alright, so I have to guard the Emperor with my life whilst they go fight some assassins. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of assassins. Now, the Emperor's gonna basically say, hey, I'm about to die, and then he's going to die. So there we go, he's told us, and then he's smiling as he's about to just get shanked in the back. Rip, so he's dead. Now, of course, we're expected to fight that man. We can't. Luckily, we can get supported by Baurus here. I know, the Emperor's dead. Sorry. Right, next up, we actually need to pick a class to fight with. I think we're just going to go for a barbarian. Covers all of the good things we're going to need. Right, so out of the sewers we go. And whilst I do that, I'm going to get harassed by all of the DLC quests activating. Right, and naturally, we're just going to blitz our way past all of these rats. Sorry, rat friends. Not going to fight you. Aha, I've defeated you with a gate. Good luck, rat. Ha ha! Outsmarted my little furry friends. You have been bested by Shrek. Remember the day that you... Oh, wait, there's a goblin. He can't open gates, right? Oh, beans, he can't open gates. Ah, flee! Flee, my friend, flee! Oh my goodness, we've got to get a wiggle on. Ow! Okay, right, quick, flee. Right, we're finished. Exit the sewers. Ah, welcome into the glorious, glorious world of Oblivion. Once again, we're bombarded by even more DLC messages. Yep, I don't know how we're getting all of this innate knowledge about locations on the map and bloodstained keys, but it matters little. And because I can't fight anyone until I actually get myself a weapon, we need to beeline our way there. And luckily for us, it is way on over here in Sunt Watch. So we need to fast travel to the nearest settlement, which would be Breville, so that's what we're going to do. And yes, despite the fact that there's a weird floating head in the water, we're going to ignore that and simply run past. Now, like all good unarmed British people, if we encounter any danger on our route, we simply must use the handy acronym of F.L.A.F, which stands for Fight Like a Frenchman, and by that I mean flee in the opposite direction at high speed. Alright, fantastic, we've landed on the opposite shores. All we need to do is basically run in a straight line. Now, because we're level 1, there shouldn't be too many dangerous beasties. Lots of happy little deer. Although honestly, all it takes is one particularly grumpy bear and then we're kind of dead. What a lovely and beautiful game. Our destination lies somewhere over there in those hills. And you know what? It's fun just to stroll across the landscape, harvest various supplies that I'm never going to use, and collect potions that I'll also never use. But what I can do is experience the world. Alright, my destination lies just across from this lake, and I'm going to run around as there's this weird little camp here that potentially has a friend. I mean, look, there's a human. Humans are largely friendly. They must be completely fine with... Oh, they're not fine with me. I will take that as a sign of not happy. He is not happy. Okay. Jeez, you see a big luminous green orb running towards you, and you'd think you'd have a smile on your face. At least you can go fight that mud crab instead. Forgotten tunnels? What? Okay, this place looks cool, but it's full of mud crabs. I can't fight mud crabs. Right out of the forgotten tunnels we go. Okay, we're bam. We've almost made it. Oh, jeez, the man followed me. What is he doing here? Okay, well, flee up the hill we go. Fastly up the hill. Jeez, the man crossed the entire lake just to chase me. I mean, at least you can say something about the enemies. Definitely the enemies in Oblivion are kind of persistent. But bam, we've made it over to Sundercliff, which is our destination for our weapon. For you see in the bowels of this forgotten lands, we will find ourselves the Dirty Hoe. So now I've entered, I can basically begin my search for Mehrunes Razor, which is what this quest is about. We are not going to be doing any of that. He followed me in here! Okay, right, that's it. Right, grab all of these. Oh my goodness, they're fighting. They're fighting with themselves. Well, I can't particularly fight them. What I can do is try and find the Dirty Hoe. Right, now what we're about to do is very rapidly speed our way through this dungeon. There is no way that we're going to survive, so instead we're going to flee. Now what we do need to do is read this little note so that we know the password for the door. We're then going to answer with the password for the door, and then they're going to panic because evidently I was not meant to gain access to this area. Nonetheless, we're going to just run our way through. We've got to be a very speedy boy because there's a lot of very grumpy people on our tail, and when they see us, they're going to get pretty stabby. Excuse me, please, thank you. I have a very important quest to do. Anyway, down into this section we go, as we now need to make our way over into the lovely Sundercliff village. The Dark Elves have set up a little town. It's very, very cute. And of course, we just want to charge our way through here. We do not want to fight anyone. And on the other side, we're going to find ourselves the glorious Sundercliff Forge. Then we're going to make our way through the forge and its very twisty canyons. Means, excuse me, just run past anyone trying to fight you. There we go. And then now that we've made our way through, we are into the Sundercliff Mines, where we get to see the Dark Elves' main operation here, mining. That's right, they've got a bunch of Khajiit indentured workers, and these Khajiits for some reason are working using hoes, which is where we get actually the access to our first ever hoe in the game. This one we can't use, it is just a hoe. But don't worry, we'll be able to find ourselves some combat hoes very shortly. Now we could kill a Khajiit to get one, but we're not going to do that. Instead we just want to bypass it all, run past. Oh my goodness, I'm just getting sped at by some very angry people. Anyway, just run around, there we go, it's a nice big open mine, and then we want to get to this lovely central pavilion. And now that we've made our way here, we want to get over there to that barrel, so we just do a quick running jump and we've made it across the ledge. Now, none of these people can actually make their way over to us, although for some reason the Dark Elves are now fighting amongst themselves for some silly reason. But now that we're over here, we can get the most important item in the game. In this barrel, none other than the hoe. So what we have here is something very special, our very own hoe. Now Swag Poo Lord's mum here is unique because the other hoes that those labourers are using are rock pick hoes. This is the only true hoe that can be used as a weapon in the game. Now the game doesn't list it as having a unique enchantment, no, that would be far too silly. But this blunt two-handed weapon has something very special. Every time you hit an enemy, there is a 100% chance that you give them a disease. These diseases on their own aren't anything too special, but if you can stack them enough on one person, you can lower their stats by a very large quantity. So I think it's time for us to begin our little rampage, starting with this elf man over here trying to fling arrows at me. Oh dear, I'm on a ledge. Right, hello there. Say hello to my oh, well they died instantly. That's a smidge embarrassing. Right, so we now have our weapon of choice. It's time for me to leave these mines and do our best to beat the game with one of the worst weapons imaginable. And ow, that was very painful. Eat hoe. Come back, you elf. There you go. That was a good bonking. Nobody wants to be bonked by a hoe. Whoa, nice try, Khajiit. What a powerful little doodad we have here. Now, in order to prepare... Oh my goodness, whoa, my intelligence was drained. Ow, this man is aggressive and grumpy. Jeez, look at this man go. Right, well, fantastic. I've managed to repel all of our attackers. They are very powerful little grumpy sod. Now, as great as the hoe is, it does take a while to swing. It basically does no damage at all. And so we need to carry it using our own combat abilities. Oh, geez, you drained my luck. Ow. Geez, these little daggers move fast. Anyway, luckily we managed to defeat that man. But we're definitely not the strongest warrior in the land. So I'm going to throw myself into the Imperial City arena in order to train up my skills and hopefully become the greatest hoe lord this land has ever seen. My goal is to see if I can win a few bouts of combat using a hoe, and if that's possible, it's onwards with our main quest, where we must save the entire world from the Oblivion crisis. Right, fantastic, we've been handed our new battle raiment, which is a relatively okay piece of armor, and fits us fantastically. We look brilliant, wow. Shrek, you've never looked more majestic. Anyway, let's throw ourselves into the arena. Right, so we're ready for a match. So we're suited up, we're ready, we've got our hoe equipped, and we're gonna throw ourselves into the arena. So into the big room we go. It's time for us to throw ourselves out into the arena and face our first opponent. We might not have a good weapon, we might not have good stats, but what we have is the power of greenness. Right, so we have to face this opponent over here, charging at us at high speed, and oh my goodness, do they look ready for a bout. They're quite powerful, but all we need to do is land a few hits, and then we should have them dead to rights. We just have to block their attacks, hit them once or twice, inflict a disease onto them, and then wha-bam, we should win. Yes, look at this. Yes, there we go. You're looking weak and vulnerable, and yes, dead by the hoe. We did it. Glorious stuff. Alright, we did it. Lovely stuff. We get to rejuvenate ourselves. After our victory in the arena, it's naturally time for Shrek to do something very dangerous. We're going to find the most powerful nearby being, defeat them, and then steal all of their armor. And then using that armor, we're going to finish the game in as cheesy a way possible. So we are naturally going to be running and finding Umbra, one of the most powerful and easy to access beings available. I must say, I absolutely love how this game is still completely and utterly balked until this very day. Like, look, we're inside of a rock. Yep, this game just has super special funky textures, and oh dear, I might actually drown here. Don't drown under rock, please. Right, over into here we go. There's going to be a bunch of bandits, but don't worry, we've got our giant rusty hoe, which is of course exceedingly special with its unique powers of managing to give everyone who touches it diseases. So we're going to begin with this wizarding looking individual. Yep, they're going to summon a little scamp, and then we're going to hit them with our hoe, and that's it, they're dead. Right, next up, I have to fight this scamp, so wha-bam. Yes, get diseased, my boy. Geez, actually, you're quite powerful. Heavy attack. Another heavy attack. Alright, and there we go. He finally went down. Quite the powerful little being, that stunted scamp, but hey, you know, our stats are relatively low, and our weapon is terrible. So, into the dungeon we go, where we're naturally going to run into a whole bunch of very grumpy-looking bandits. Oh, and also a rat. That is clearly a rat. Well, you're dead. Oh, and this is a trap, so goodbye, rat. And well, bam, there we go, we found her. Down there is Umbra, an incredibly dangerous and grumpy individual with quite a bit of power. She's decked out in heavy armor and has a very, very overpowered sword for this period of the game. So naturally we have to try and defeat her, and the way in which we're going to do this is by giving her a whole bunch of diseases. Right, so naturally it's time for me to try and kill Umbra using our giant hoe, with a big old sneak attack from behind. There we go. Now of course she is incredibly powerful, but all we need to do is hit her with, Jesus, enough attacks that can wound her. I mean, she's actually very, very terrifying. I mean, she almost two-hit us there, so let's have a quick restoration. And I can apply a poison to my hoe, which will do some additional damage. Oh my goodness, my big power attacks are useless. So even if we can get our status effects on her, her stats are so high that she is very much going to kill us. So instead, we're going to declare combat on her and just run at high speed away from her. And if we're lucky, she's going to basically die to some traps. Ow. Oh my goodness. Yep, she is just after me. Poor, what a grumpy woman. Right, into the dead rat room we go. Quick jump around this horrible trap of danger. Another quick potion of healing. And my final one. Okay, and then I suppose we have this trap. Oh my goodness, she is so dangerous. Right, okay, my final attempt to kill Umbra is use the power of the podium. Fucking hell. Okay, I've realized that there's actually no way I could defeat Umbra. She's just way too powerful. Luckily, that doesn't mean I can't defeat the game. Now, you might be thinking, look, Spiff, the game is going to be filled with enemies, many of whom are incredibly powerful and immensely dangerous, and if a hoe can't defeat them, then how on earth are you going to win? Well, that solution is actually pretty simple. Firstly, we're going to need to make our way over to the Imperial Marketplace, as we've got some shenanigans to do. For you see, in the many barrels of the Imperial Market, you will find yourselves paintbrushes. Now, paintbrushes are uniquely special things. Unlike every other item in the game, when you drop a paintbrush, it doesn't remain dropped. It instead remains floating in air, which allows a character with, you know, enough jumping skills to potentially get on top of the paintbrush and defy the laws of gravity. So we're going to be using this for our own advantage. So it's into the Mystic Emporium we go, because this man sells scrolls. Now, I don't have many scrolls, so I'm going to buy as many absorb magicka scrolls as possible, which in my case is free, go back out into the market, and then execute Oblivion hidden feature number 1, scroll duplication. By simply selecting our quantity of scrolls and then shift clicking on the item we want to duplicate, we are going to duplicate paintbrushes. And with that, we've just turned 2 paintbrushes into 4 paintbrushes. This can be used with pretty much any item, like, say, lovely flawless sapphires. So I'm going to begin duplicating and get back to you very shortly. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for me to finish Oblivion. Now, the game would have you believe that you need to go and find, you know, Martin, the son of the Emperor, convince him to become the next Emperor, and solve the Oblivion crisis. The issue is that takes time and adventuring and backstabbing, whereas this just requires the humble art of painting. Simply, all I need to do is drop down 1 paintbrush, then proceed to jump on top of said paintbrush, and repeat. By doing this, I'm able to design a staircase of paintbrushes. And before you ask, yes, this is exactly how the developers intended you to play the game. Okay, and so just like that, I've built myself a giant levitating staircase of paintbrushes. Now that completed, what you want to do is fall inside of the lovely Temple of the One and try not to die from fall damage. I'm just going to quickly rest up and max out my health again, and then I'm going to walk on over to the door, and oh my goodness, look, a super secret little sequence break that's going to allow us to access the Temple of the One that exists in the end of the game. So what we're going to do is access it, go on outside, and watch as well the entire Oblivion crisis is going on. Yep, that looks pretty dastardly to me. All we're meant to do is, of course, escort the Emperor's son to here. However, that would be a challenge, and as we proved with the hoe, I'm not exactly the greatest fighter. So instead what we have to do is instead wait around 20 hours for Martin to make his way from his current NPC location in the world and safely travel all the way to to us. The reason we want to wait and do this is because the game no longer perceives enemy combat whilst you're waiting. This makes Martin perfectly safe. Now there are a few ways to trigger Martin's arrival, but one of the best ways to do it is to, you know, actually go and fight something. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to assist in the final battle. Hello there. Look, you've attacked some scamp. I mean, we probably are meant to go into the Oblivion Gate and do some fighting, but what a silly idea. I must help Martin reach the Temple of the Wand before it's too late. Exactly. And here we go. Lovely. And of course, after running around a bit, we get this lovely sequence trigger. Mehrunes Dagon is here. The barriers between Oblivion and Tamriel have been destroyed. Yes, that's right. Our only hope is that we can somehow defeat him because, oh my goodness, he is a grumpy, powerful boy. So after that triggering, we need to get back inside the Temple of the Wand and now wait for Martin to travel his way across the world towards us because, you know, he didn't actually start in his correct location. And wabam, just like that, we can cheese the game and look, it's brother Martin. We're too late. That's right, Sean Bean's now here and apparently we've been helping him. Although I don't personally remember ever meeting this man, but it's okay because we can cast him back into Oblivion. And so I'm going to basically influence him to put on the Amulet of Kings, and this will turn Brother Martin into the greatest weapon of all. And so basically Brother Martin has said, hey, you need to lead me to the temple. Luckily for me, I've led him to the temple. Look, we're here, Brother Martin. Martin and I are now inside the temple. Yep, look, Martin, here we are. So he is going to do his best to begin the sequence. Farewell, you've been a good friend in the short time that I've known you. Brother Martin, it's been about 60 seconds, my friend. Good luck. I'm sure you're gonna do a great job. Oh dear, look, it's the big evil enemy. It's Dagon himself. But don't worry, because Martin Septim transforms into a dragon. My goodness, look at this. This is like some kind of anime showdown, and it is glorious. Oh dear, no, the dragon is mortally wounded, but it also can breathe fire, and fire is apparently quite effective. Dagon does not like having his neck bitten, so yes, he gets a little bit destroyed. And with that, Tamriel is saved. We did it. What a glorious success. And unfortunately, just like that, a giant new dragon statue is created. Oh god, I forgot about the cutscene. So there we go. The Oblivion crisis is over. Every Oblivion gate has been closed, despite the fact that I never even saw an Oblivion gate. So there we have it. We did it. The world is saved. High Chancellor Okuto is happy that we saved the day, but hey, Martin's gone. We proved once and for all that you can indeed beat Oblivion with a hoe. I mean, did we use the hoe much? That's questionable. It matters little. Oblivion is over, Okuto. It's over. You can die now, you piece of scum. You bastard. You horrible man. I will resist arrest, you puny guard. You have no idea who I am. I'm the Hoe Lord. What a glorious day. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's very brief and yet very strange foray into Oblivion. This is a good excuse to show off some of my favorite silly speedrunning strats that this game has, and set us up for a different kind of Oblivion video. But fear not, because we're going to go back to the legendary adventures of Big Susan soon, as she is a brilliant vessel for experimenting with brand new, never before seen exploits. So if you want to see them, make sure you're subscribed. If you enjoyed today's video, then give it a like, and hop on down into the comment section to tell me what you want to see broken next. As always, a thank you to you, the lovely majestic sausages, for watching, and all of our majestic Patreons and YouTube channel members for funding it. And hey, if you're sat there wondering what to watch next, look no further than this video on screen now, chosen by me to be perfect for you. Anyway, I'll see each and every one of you in the next one. Have a lovely day and goodbye for now.